Welcome to the Volairen Show. I'm Volairen, and I think... Hold on, do we got an image up? Yes, we do. Great. All right, good to see everybody. It is 7:42 p.m., and I decided to take a little bit of time off work to showcase my new gear. Well, I can't really show you, but I am looking at my game on my new monitor, and I am looking at chat at the same time that I'm playing, and I don't have to tab out. It's great. So, good stuff. So we're going to go ahead and we're actually going to play 7 Days to Die a little bit. But we are going to talk about 7 Days to Die. And as you guessed by the title, yeah, I mean, we need to talk about 7 Days to Die. Unofficially, my plate's really full right now. We are about to release my newest video, Space Marine 2 and Stellaris. It is coming soon, so look for it. But in the meantime, I wanted to talk about this. I wanted to do this in a show because I really don't think I have time and to honestly, I really don't feel like I want to invest any more than a stream in the 7 Days to Die space for now, until I get better numbers with it. The last video was not. I'm not resentful, you know. Maybe I made the title wrong or the thumbnail. I don't know what happened, but it was dead on arrival. And I put a lot of work and thought into that video, and you know, if there's not a market for it, there's not a market for it. So if people don't want to watch my 7 Days to Die videos, then they don't have to, and that's fine. But I don't need to make them. So, you know, it's less of an incentive to make them if, you know, 7 Days to Die video when I can make a Stellaris video that is more likely to get views. But anyway, but there's other reasons I stopped playing. Stopped playing 7 Days to Die for a couple months now, and also just didn't have any desire to make any new content with it. And I'm going to share those thoughts with you today. You know, in this stream, we're going to talk about it. So, because there's a lot to cover. Like I said, I just don't have time, and I don't have the you know, I don't have the fan base to make 7 Days to Die videos right now, full blown videos. And yeah, I've got a lot on my plate with Stellaris and with the coming Factorio expansion, and so yeah. But anyway, I do want to talk about 7 Days to Die. There are some big problems with 7 Days to Die right now. So some people might disagree with me, and look, if you're loving 1.0, there's a lot of things to love about it. I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying that 1.0 was a total stinker, but there are some glaring issues with that release that really I didn't figure out till later, and I think is really going to possibly. I don't think anything's ever going to kill 7 Days to Die. I don't think anything is ever going to, you know, make it go flatline. But man, like, I see what bothered me and my friend who played this game for years, since like 2016. We've been playing this game. Just go, dude, this is not the game that, like, yeah, this isn't fun. This is like, I don't know what to do now. Like, there's so when so the real sad thing here, the real tragic thing here about 7 Days to Die is that it's not a bad patch on the surface. It added a lot of great content. I mean, the armor classes were actually pretty darn good. They had a lot of flaws, but when we tried them out finally, especially when we got those tier 6 pieces, That they were a lot of fun. They were really powerful. I really did enjoy them. I was very surprised. I was very surprised. I thought I wasn't gonna like them at all. I thought the whole having to switch armor thing around was a real pain in the butt. And it still was annoying, but you know what? We quickly got past it because there was some downright overpowered stuff that you could do with that gear, with that armor. Like I had never had armor that powerful in 7 Days to Die ever, and so yeah, that was a great experience. But here's the really sad thing about it. I didn't have anything to use that gear on other than Horde Night. Even then, it felt kind of redundant. You know, the tier six, the tier sixes and tier fives that we've grown to love over the years. That were very challenging and that we looked forward to clearing. And being rewarded. Most importantly, rewarded for doing accurately rewarded for doing, that we were incentivized to do. Uh, we were like, man, this is going to be great. We're going to be able to use this gear on these tier fives and tier sixes. So we tried them out, and boy, were we disappointed. There was almost nothing in those tier, to make this short, you know, there was nothing in those tier fives and tier sixes. Well, we didn't do a tier six, but we did a tier five, and there was nothing in there that we wanted. And we quickly realized, wow, this game has kind of lost its soul. And I'm going to tell you why. So basically, when we did our tier five, for one, the loot we received, and we were in the wasteland, mind you. So anybody that wants to think, oh, he was probably in the forest biome, no, I was not in the forest biome. We were in the wasteland, highest loot stage that you can think of. We were on day 42. Okay, we were in endgame, solidly in endgame. We were very advanced, very advanced, and we had all tier 6 gear, and the reward we got was just abysmal. It was like, honestly, I can't even. So I'll just tell you what I got for doing my tier 5. I got a beaker and 2,000 Duke coins. You have got to be kidding me, dude. Really? Really? In the wasteland? Tier 5 in the wasteland. In the wasteland. It took us hours to clear that. It took us tons of bullets. We almost died a couple times. A cop exploded on us. A radiated cop. And that's how strong this armor was too. I was able to survive it wholeheartedly. It only took 20 hit points off me. It almost killed my friend. Like, and he had full medium armor. So, that heavy armor is no joke. I love the new heavy armor, absolutely. But man, dude, we spent so much time in there and just so much effort, and the only things that we were interested, that this leads me to the other problem too. The only things we were even interested in the tier 5 was books. That's it. All we wanted was books. Everything else we either had or we didn't need, or it was just or it was nothing. We didn't get any we barely got any weapons or anything, especially anything like tier 5 or above. And that's actually, so really the only thing we took from there that was worth anything to us was books. And I don't know about you, just feels really wrong. Just something really wrong with that. I remember when, up just last patch, Alpha 21, I could find a tier 6. I get a tier 6 reward from doing a tier 5. I could, I could loot tier 5s or tier 5 weapons and tools and stuff that was worth really, really good, and then I could throw mods in them and stuff and make lots of Duke coins, and just it made it worth finding those tier 5s. even though they weren't tier sixes, like because you could throw a bunch of mods in them and get and be well compensated, right? So, the but the when we were doing tier fives in 1.0, there was little to no loot that had any meaning for us at all, that we could do anything with. And this is because of several sweeping nerfs, straight nerfs, and balance changes that I have a really hard time feeling like fathoming that anybody really asked for these changes. But if you're one of those people that asked for this change, feel free to leave a comment. I'd like to know your thoughts, why you felt that way or thought that way. I'm not going to attack you, I promise. And if anybody else does, I'll censor them. But like, even though I hate doing that, but like, be respectful, guys. But really, I want to hear your case. I want to hear your case as to why Fun Pimps made this decision, because it really feels to me like they're like in this the devs are like in this little bubble of theirs where they don't consider that other people may think or want to play their game a little differently than they do, and really don't seem to care about that factor at all. Like, I don't really know who they're listening to with these balance changes. I know one thing though. Back in Alpha 17, I came on in Alpha 14. I have a lot of 7 Days to Die history under my belt. Now, I didn't know how it was prior to Alpha 14, but I know it but I know it after. And the game from Alpha 14 to now, they look like completely different games. Absolutely different games. So I've seen 7 Days to Die change over the many years. And let me tell you, when Alpha 17 came out and they first introduced questing and with the traders, and quest progression, I think that single-handedly saved that game. I really do. Because when that feature came out, really the formula was really starting to get old. Basically, the old formula was, before you had the questing system, basically go out, loot, prepare for Horde Night, explore, and that's about all you did. Now, some people are cool with that, and I was cool with that for a long time. I had a blast. I did. But it got old. And after a while, it's like, man, I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. And there was a lot of other things that were underdeveloped and whatnot that they had yet to add. But, but that's my point is, with the game in its current state, we're basically seeing a return to that style of play, where there is no point to quest. There is no point to engage in that feature at all, to trade or do any of that stuff. Other than, the occasional selling things and then buying the odd resource here and there. But definitely not buying any weapons. Definitely not getting any decent quest rewards. And definitely not trying to progress through the tiers when you get dog shit for rewards. Let's face it, dude. The rewards with the traders now is absolute ass. It's just ass. No matter what biome you go to. That's what we were really surprised. We were really surprised. We're like, oh, okay, well, it probably sucks in the grass biome, right, or in the forest biome. But I'm sure when we get to these other biomes that the loot's gonna get better. Right? No, it didn't. In fact, I didn't notice any change at all. And that's really it's really sad, because it really put a damper on things. But we kept playing because we're like, no, it'll probably get better, right? Maybe it'll get better when we get to the Wasteland, right? So yeah, we played for 42 days, 42 hours. We played that game. We went through all the Horde Nights and stuff, but but we found ourselves just collecting books most of the time, and trying to look for bookstores like 80% of our time between Horde Nights. When we could have been looting and just killing zombies and stuff, having fun. That's the other thing that the questing did, was it focused you. It encouraged you to like challenge yourself and push your limits, and just, it's where a lot of the game's action was. You know, now, obviously, there's always some amount of action in that game. You're always killing the occasional zombie here and there. But I'm saying, like, all the life and death situations, the really challenging situations that you get into, most of those come from quests, from doing quests. You get into most of those situations from doing quests. So I feel they basically took out the most exciting part of the game and made it and balanced it into irrelevancy. And Fun Pimps has been guilty of doing this for a long time, and I hope they're probably not going to see this, but if they do, listen up, guys. Like, there is such a thing as overbalancing, and you know what? I would rather a game be unbalanced. Okay, I'd rather it be unbalanced and fun than be balanced and bland as hell, with no spectacle, no real power, no excitement, no investment of any kind, like, you know, and no fun, right? So, and the other thing I really like people who hear this to consider: when you nerf your greatest feature, what are you left with? See, when you nerf a feature into the ground, even if it's on the surface a bad one, right? When you overbalance any feature in a game, you are basically killing part of your game. You're basically removing like valuable development time. So like, what's going on here? That's, I gotta ask. Like, that's kind of the thing, So yeah, I mean, what are we doing? So yeah, like we kept thought it was gonna get better, and it just didn't, you know. And when I got that reward for that tier 5, I knew that something was really wrong. Something was really wrong. I was like, this is wrong. A beaker and 2,000 dew coins? No, dude, I that is not fair compensation for what I did at all. No, I mean, I can understand giving dog shit rewards for tier 1s. Okay? Obviously, you don't want players progressing too fast. I get that. Okay? Maybe even in tier 2. You don't want players progressing too fast in tier 2. But there's a lot of other disincentives to quest and deal with traders. Not so much traders. Traders are still somewhat relevant, right? There are still some valuable things you can get from them, but they're all resources. They're not. I could count on one hand the number of times I actually bought a weapon from the trader this go around. So, it. Yeah, so the overbalancing, the clear, blatant overbalancing in this patch, it's just egregious. It's absolutely egregious. Like, you don't do that. Like, look at all the games in history that have done things like that. Overwatch, just about every Blizzard game ever made, except for maybe StarCraft, and plenty of other games, especially games in the competitive space. Now, I understand why games in the competitive space overbalance, but even then, they overdo it. Then, I'll tell you a story. So, but yeah, I've never seen any instance where something got nerfed into oblivion and people were happy about it. I've never seen it. I've never seen it. You know, if anything, you have people leave, right? Now, I am not saying that things don't get unbalanced to the point of requiring you to do something about it. But what I'm saying is that you could easily just make a small adjustment to the problem and see what happens then, and then make another smaller one and another smaller one until it's where you want it to be. But instead, what I keep seeing from developers, including the fun pimps, is they just go the exact opposite end of the spectrum and just nerf it into the ground, like with a sledgehammer. Why? So now we have a different problem, you know. And so let's look at the trader nerfs, the sweeping trader nerfs, and questing nerfs that went through. Okay, let's talk about them. So I want to point out here that one thing that easily could have been done instead of those changes they made is just make smaller changes. For example, all right, it's pretty OP to give somebody 10 water on their first quest. I get it. Okay, you want them to struggle a little bit. I get that. So maybe just give them 1 or 2, or give them 3 or 4, you know, or whatever. Like, I get that. I get that. But don't just take it away. You know, that's one example there. And then, and don't make, like, don't give them a stone axe instead. Who wants a fucking stone axe? Seriously? Who wants a stone axe? And look, guys, I didn't mean to make this a huge bitch session, right? I really didn't. You know, we're gonna play. But yeah, this is the Volairen Show. We don't really focus on the game as much when we're doing the Volairen Show. So, like, I hope you guys can hear me. Oh, I'm on top chat. Let me do live chat. Make sure nobody's talking. Okay. So, yeah. But anyway, again, back to, you know, things they could have done things way different than what they did. Like, they could have just scaled back the power a little bit. But instead, they overbalanced it so much that now there is absolutely no reason to, like, really trade that much other than once in a while, or do any quests at all. The last game I played, I just looted. That's all I did. I just systematically went through the town that I was in and just looted every building that I could. And I got more stuff in, you know, a few days than I could have gotten for 2 weeks of questing. And I guess you could do that, and that's okay. And it was sort of fun, but like again, like, questing is supposed to be fun. And I think the questing is so integral and a critical part of the game that to take it away, really, it just isn't 7 Days to Die anymore. And so, yeah, it's definitely something that you don't want to nerf into oblivion, Fun Pimps. It's definitely one of those things. So, I want to tell you about some of the other problems. Some of the other issues. So it is 1.0. So now, Fun Pimps officially have zero excuse for all the bugs that they went throughout all the years of not fixing. All the glitches and issues. You know, they had 13 years to fix them. And it's 1.0, and I still see some of the same issues. For example, now, some of you may laugh at this. This is fine. Some of you are going to laugh at this. But I tell you, I made a point of checking when 1.0 released. I went up to my buddy's bicycle, and he had locked it. And I had repair kits in my inventory. And I tried to get on his bike, and it stole my repair kit. The only one I had. And that thing, because really, that has to be a glitch or a bug. That can't be as intended. Are really that stupid to have something like that? Like, why on earth would I want to like hit E? Why would I want to use my repair kit when I'm trying to get on somebody's bike? So but yeah. Anyway, that has been in the game since Alpha 15. I shit you not. We have been having that issue. That has been an issue since Alpha 15. It's small, right? And I usually just go in and cheat in a repair kit. Because I'm fed up with it, right? I've been fed up with it for a long time. Patch after patch, I'm like, are they going to fix this? And they never do. So that's just one of many examples. Shut up. Not looking at you. Phone. Anyway. But yeah, like, you know? So that, and then also, over the years also, ever since the questing system was out, we would go through, us players would go through periods where our starting quests were like a kilometer away, 1.5 kilometers away. And there were even forum posts about it going, Fun Pimps, could you please change it? And they even addressed it, saying, yeah, we shortened the amount of time between, amount of travel time between quests. And every time they've ever said they did that, or they did change it, like 6 months later, it'll go back to that. And they just change it right back to back to where we're getting the 1 kilometer away, 2 kilometers away, so you're starting out and you want to get into quests right away, because you want to loot stuff and things like that. Questing used to be a great way to, get started in the game when you had nothing. And now the quests are a kilometer away again for reasons unknown. I don't know why. We've asked you, Fun Pimps, over and over again. We've told you, Fun Pimps, over and over again. I'm sure the players have said over and over again, and have never said contrary. We don't like it when our starting, when our tier 1 quests are more than a kilometer away. It's effing annoying. Please stop. Or paraphrasing here, but yeah. And I'm saying it's effing annoying. And we've asked you to fix that over and over again and have it stay fixed. And, it just keeps going back to that. So, and they have fixed it. See, that's the thing. They have demonstrated that they can fix it. It's not some issue where they're just like, oh, it's hard coded. There's no way we can undo it. No, that they've fixed the issue before, but then but they've unfixed it. So that stuff like that really irritates me. And then, so they did that again. And then, so, and you'd think, all right, so they don't want us to get through the tiers too fast in the quest. Okay, I get you. But you don't have to double, or actually, I think it's triple the amount of quests you need to do to get to the next tier. Are you kidding me? Now, like, between the kilometer between quests and, and that alone, and having no way to get that bicycle before day 7, which is what I used to like to do. It used to help out a lot. And now that I can't do that, like, I have almost no incentive to start questing. Oh, don't even get me started on the intro quest, the buried supplies. Okay, so let me get this straight. I'm an agility main, and I chose not to do strength and intellect, but you're going to force me to do buried supplies on my first quest and not even give me a reward? Okay. Who asked for that change? I'm sorry, guys. This is many years coming. I'm laying it out on the table right now. I've really had it. So yeah. Oh, and don't even get me started on their new POIs, if you even call them POIs. I have a lot of criticisms about the new POIs that they added. And what seemingly took away. Because I'll tell you what, the the lower tier uh the lower tier POIs in Alpha 21 were great overall. They had some stinkers, but most of them were pretty well rounded. And they gave you important good stuff to get you started on your journey, you know, so that you could survive. That is not what I'm seeing in these I don't know, like I said, if you call them POIs, it's like most of the POIs I'm seeing now, in at least in the first two tiers, it's like I walked into a pile of trash. Okay, what is this? What is this supposed to be? I can't even step anywhere. There's garbage everywhere, and I'm not just talking about the hoarder house. Every single one of them is similar to this. It's just like, okay, yeah, I know it's the apocalypse, but you didn't have to make it look that ugly. Come on. I mean, really, like, where's the entrance? Like that's the stuff that's going through my mind as I was trying to go through these POIs. So yeah, I mean, so and then on top of that, I don't know who thought this was a good idea, but like, um, attention POI makers, we don't like it when we don't have any weapons to fight dogs and biker zombies, and you put them in tier 1 POIs. No, not cool. Not effing cool. Especially if you play on higher difficulties. Like, that is a bust. And this kept happening with these newer POIs. Like, I remember there was this tier 1 POI. It had 2 bikers in it, and 2 dogs, and a vulture. Like, okay, any one of those would have been challenging. Especially the biker zombie, especially the dog. But what? Like, I don't have enough bullets for that. I don't have. No pipe weapon is going to take care of that. So basically, and I refuse to do cheese in this game because that's not. I don't feel that's real 7 Days to Die. You know, I like to outplay the zombies. I don't like to get up on top of boxes and stuff and run up there and like a chicken and just, you know, not look, I'm not trying to insult anybody that plays that way. If you play the way you want to play, dude, and that brings my next point. Let us play the way we want to play. You know? I shouldn't have to use cheese to beat a tier 1 POI. And I'm not even playing on a high run speed. Like, you know, stop with the dogs and biker zombies on tier 1 and tier 2 POIs. It's ridiculous. So that was like a side tangent there. But that's not the main overall reason. But really, I think I've made my point. The main overall reason, honestly, they have basically just beat quests and trading into the ground with the Nerf bat. For no reason. No reason. Like, you had it. You had it right there. You had it right there, Fun Pimps. You were at the finish line. You had the ball, dude, and you fumbled. Really, you fumbled it. What do we do in 7 Days to Die now? Do I just wander around and explore the map? Ooh, that's so exciting. I'm playing Walking Simulator now. What do I work towards? Oh, I guess I can prepare for next Horde night. Now it's just a building game. Okay. I love building, but a lot of my friends, they don't like building. So they don't really see a reason to play with me. So now I just lost my friends in 7 Days to Die. I mean, I didn't lose them actually, but they won't play this game with me anymore because they're not interested in pure building games. They want to do other stuff. They don't mind building; it's fun for them, but that's not their main thing. Okay, so and looting, yeah, there's looting. There's just straight looting. I guess you could do that. But like, what are you looting for? Books. And that leads me to the next issue. We're playing Book Simulator now. And now, when they made the changes of learn by reading, and they introduced it in Alpha 21, it actually was really good. I actually enjoyed it. It was one of the highlights of it. But it was mixed in with all the other good features that made that patch great. Okay? That's the thing. And yes, there are a lot of good things about the learn by reading system. There's nothing wrong with the learn by reading system, but when that is all you can do, that is all you loot for, that is all you live for, like, no. I don't play 7 Days to Die so I can collect a bunch of books. I want to find guns. I want to find weapons. I want to break into the gun safe. I want there to actually be stuff that I can loot in there that's actually useful to me. I remember the first time I played Alpha 15, and I spent half the day breaking open a bank safe. And when I opened it up, I got a tier 6 sniper rifle. And it was only like day 3 or 4. Now, that sounds extremely broken, right? But dude, I was so excited. I was so excited. And it really helped me the rest of the game. It didn't cheat. It wasn't a cheat. I still had to do all the other stuff. I still had to work on all kinds of other things. I had to grind all the resources stuff, build base, all that stuff. I still had to play 7 Days to Die, but that one piece helped me a lot. And I still had to get ammo for it, and sometimes I didn't have ammo. But when I had it, oh boy, yeah. So, what is wrong with that? People like that stuff. People think that stuff is fun. Now, all I have to look forward to, looting on day 1, is the possibility of getting a level 2 stone axe. I mean, okay. Look, I'm not asking to get the game handed to me on day 1. No. No, but see, a level 6 sniper rifle isn't going to do that. But I liked that possibility that I could get lucky, right? Because there used to be a lot of luck in 7 Days to Die. That's part of what made the game fun and challenging. And it was, and very enjoyable. Yeah, it made it frustrating at times, of course. I get that. But the thing of it is, you're always going to have whiners, fun pimps. You're always going to have whiners in the forums. You're always going to have you're always going to have people in the forums going, the game is too easy, and this and this and that, and and I guess you could turn around and say that that's what I'm doing now. Sure, fair enough. I am complaining right now about some things. Things that I've been holding in for a while. But I tell you, I mean, when you take away the things that make the game fun, what is there left of the game? I mean, really. So, let's actually do something. Let's see. We'll just go ahead and do solo September 124. So Yeah, I mean, let's actually make a new world and see if they unfucked anything. Advanced generation. Type bunch of gobbledygookin. Lawava territory. Okay. So, let me see. We're gonna go many. And you know what the crazy thing is? Even with this setting like this, 100% plains, that's not what you'll get. You'll still get hills and you'll still get mountains. Isn't that stupid? So just one of the many things that I thought I'd point out there. So, you know, I think I think these are all right. Okay. Warning: changing these settings may break trader progression. You're talking about this stuff here. Now, I've been going for center forest. I think that's pretty good. Or center wasteland, circle, line. I don't know what circle is, but we'll just do center forest. Center forest is fine. And we're gonna go ahead and generate the world. And so I'm gonna, while we're generating the world, I'm gonna sit here and talk more about this stuff. So yeah, that's where I'm at with 7 Days to Die right now. Right now, I'm kind of doing what I'm doing right now, which is just dabbling every once in a while. I just get bored. You know, I will always come back to this game in some capacity at one point or another. But I mean, as far as like playing it on a regular basis, like I was, no, not really. Not until they fix this stuff, guys. Not until not until Fun Pips realized how bad they screwed up with their nerfs. And yeah, really, I just don't, I don't really see myself playing this patch that much until they undo some of the nerfs that they put down on the questing and the quest progression system. That was like half the game. It was like half the value in the game. So, you know, and like like I said, you don't nerf bat things. You know, take a feature, dial it back just a little bit in incremental parts, you know, or add something else, add other content that balances that out. But nerfing something into irrelevancy has never worked. I have never seen it work my entire gaming history of all the games I've played, especially in the Blizzard games. All they do is just create new problems and they just piss people off. That's all overbalancing ever does. That's all nerfing something into irrelevancy does. And that's what happened here. No. I guess in my opinion. Alright, so we're cool with this. We'll just go with a new game. I don't know if I'm cool with this, but it's fine. It looks, the other thing too, some of the changes they made to the forest and random gen were just kind of absolute dog shit. I don't like that they took all major cities out of the forest. At least have one major city in the forest. Come on, guys. So I guess I'm Asian now. They basically kept my settings. So last game I did Nightmare. I'm thinking about doing that again, just to kind of show off maybe. But I'm rusty. I haven't played in a while. So maybe I should work on that off screen if I was going to do that, but that's the thing. I don't really know if I even like this game anymore. I just kind of just, you know, You know, we'll put it on run. We're just gonna chillax for a little bit. In fact, I want to play Fortitude. I want to punch stuff. I want to be One Punch Man in this game again. It's been a while since I did Brawler. And Brawler's really fun, except when you get to higher run speeds, then it becomes impossible. And yeah, so drop on death, backpack only. I mean, I guess I'm okay with that. But I don't care about the XP penalty. So I think we're okay with that. We can go ahead and start. But again, guys, like, you know, if you're still watching, thanks for the view and the time. I appreciate it. And like, if you have comments about what I just said, and we're going to talk about it throughout the stream, but like, if you have any comments about this, like, if do you totally disagree with me here? Do you think I am just bitching and moaning and that's it? Do you really think I'm just full of it? I mean, be respectful, but I would like to know, am I totally off base here? Because I don't think I am, because see, my friend who I played with, he quit for the exact same reason. His exact words were like, I don't really know what to do now. Like, there's nothing really that I want to do in this game right now. Like, I don't even want to continue to Horde Night. Those are his words. I was willing to continue a little bit, but then I realized too, I was like, man, no. I think he's right. Now, this is a nice feature right here. The whole spawn in the world thing. I definitely like that. Man, this monitor's huge. I love this monitor, guys. I absolutely do. Okay, so, I mean... So we're gonna punch zombies today, I think. And to be fair, like I said, they totally fumbled. They had so many good features on. They added so many good features, and their Oblivion nerfs just fucking ruined it. It just yeah. They turned their sweeping nerfs turned a possible S tier patch into a B tier one, or a C tier actually. It's more like C tier, honestly. I don't even think it really deserves B tier. The only really worse patches I can think of with its current state of the game, I think, was Alpha 18 for sure, and then Alpha 19. Actually, okay, so open the challenge window. All right. Okay. So I need to gather some more small stones. Grab that. But yeah, you know, and oh, by the way, the microphone's a little bit farther away from me. If you guys are having trouble hearing this, yeah, let me know. Yeah, I mean, it's really sad, the state of the game right now. It really is. I mean, I'll still play it from time to time, like right now, but like, it could have been 1.0 could have been so much better. I mean, it could have been so much more than it was. Like I said, though, those nerfs, like, and that's the thing, like, these nerfs, who's asking for them? Seriously, I want to know. Who is asking for these nerfs? Seriously. Who wants the game to be like this? I really want to know. It really seems like they got like 3 or 4 people up there whispering in the Fun Pimp's ear, telling him, oh yeah, fun bad, boring good. You know, like, you know? And look, like I said before, they did a lot of things right in 1.0, but man, like, the stuff they did wrong was just, it just totally soured the grapes. It really did. It really did. It soured the milk. Let's see. Okay. Old stone axe? Okay, I gotta find a stone, a rock here. Sorry, guys, it's been a little bit since I did this. Look, I almost have an hour, I only got 5 views. Like, man, I don't... Yeah, like... I do not get traffic for this game, I just don't. It's sad because I played it for so long. Like, I'm not bitching. You know, a lot of my videos are Stellaris. I get it. But here's the thing. I've got 5,000 hours in 7 Days to Die. 5,000 hours. Man. Could you imagine if I had that much hours in Stellaris? Okay, so we'll make a primitive outfit. I actually want to make the entire thing, because we will need it. Gloves, hood, and shoes. Now this is another thing I really liked about the primitive armor is actually really nice. You get some decent armor right away. So yeah, like I said, that it's not all bad. Like, this is not an F tier patch. It's not. But it's definitely not an A tier. It's definitely not an S tier. Definitely not. And I don't even think it's a B tier, to be honest. So let me talk real quick about one of the other things they did wrong. So one thing they did right, they finally allowed you to be able to craft tier 6s again. Which is great. That's absolutely awesome. But instead, they took away you being able to loot them. No! Why? You didn't need to balance that. Make them findable by any means. It encourages you to go explore and loot stuff and do tier 5s. That was fine. You didn't need to adjust that. You know? Like... So, the mod junkie thing, or I call it the mod junkie thing, basically, the act of putting lots of mods into tier 5s and tier 6s, and then getting tons of money from them. I admit, it was pretty broken. It was. It probably did need some balancing. A little bit. Not to the degree that they did it. I mean, again, into irrelevancy. Dude, people liked doing that. That was a fun part of the game. But yeah, it was too powerful. It needed a slight nerf, some adjustment, but like now it's completely useless. There is no reason to collect, you know, high tier weapons and armor, especially that, you know, that you don't already have, or that's not an upgrade. So like, where's the incentive to loot, Fun Pimps? Really? Again, Book Simulator is boring. I'm not gonna play just so I can loot books. You know? Yeah, I'm telling you, we literally spent all day, all our play session, all like 4 or 5 hours of it, like the entire week, just looking for bookstores. Not necessarily finding them, but then finding them and then looting them. Like, yeah. Okay, so we still need to craft arrows. I'm like walking around aimless. I actually don't need that many. I only need one. I'm not really going to use a bow. In fact, I'm going to throw this out. I don't need that either. So we go to challenges and redeem. And okay. So we got our points now. So here's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can get the zombie. Now see that right there is why I would die on Nightmare. Okay, we're gonna get our... Eat shit. Eat shit. Keyboard is a little hard to get used to. Yeah, it takes a lot of patience in the beginning. Hey, Fenrir, how's it going? Man, would I be a happy camper if I found some leather? That's for sure. Doing good, I guess. Cool. Fenrir, do you ever play 7 Days to Die? I know you have watched me play this before, I'm pretty sure. You've been around for a while. Oh, okay. I actually need to go this way. I've been messing with these zombies over here. I should be coming over here and well, finding the trader, but the thing is, like, traders don't matter anymore. But we'll go regardless. I actually want to show you guys what I'm talking about here with the traders, unless they fix it. But I looked at the change log recently, and they didn't fix anything of the sort, according to their change log. A zombie game that hooked me is just The Last Stand Union. I've never heard of that game. I'll have to look it up sometime. It's like, if I could find a snake or something. Oh, it's a flash game, huh? There's a rabbit. I would love to kill that rabbit. Oh, he's still after me. I heard they made changes to stealth recently, though. I might try those. Like I said, I don't even know how long I'm gonna play this game. I mainly wanted to talk in the stream about, you know, what made me break up with 7 Days to Die for the most part. I mean, I might get used to it or whatever, or find other ways to enjoy this game besides the questing system, but yeah. Like, the questing system in this patch is just dead. It's absolutely dead. Instead, we're doing this. Book Simulator. So, I had... Okay. Interesting. The trader is over here. So, they put him in the wilderness, did they? No, he's on a road, but still. Yeah, I'm hoping I can find some leather. Maybe I'll get lucky or something. I don't know. Okay, there's a chicken. Chicken's not really what I need, but... I don't really want to fight zombies right now. That's how I get leather knuckles. I get leather knuckles, I'll fight them. It just takes too long. That's actually the hardest part about fists, is getting those leather knuckles. Okay.
Is there some... Well, looky here, boys. We got ourselves a real-life hero. And take a look, but don't expect me to hold your hand through it.
Any leather? No, of course not. Alright. Yeah. Basically, like, most of what you would buy from the traders is just resources, basically.
Well, how about you
Parts and
browse
stuff.
your ass right out of my store?
Wow, I got gypped there. I got one forge ahead book. Oh, at least I can make a dew collector. Where can we find leather? That is $1 million question. I must find leather. That is my quest. But how do I do that? I think really the fundamental flaw of the way the developers developed this game is they try to force people to play the way they want them to play, and really, like, that just never works. What do we got here? Okay. Chance of knockdown, that's good. Where can I find leather? That's gonna give me polymer. Now, the bear den's gonna have some leather couches, but I'm not really sure I want to go in there. Tactical warfare. Yeah, and especially like another problem I've noticed, and this is across patches across the duration of the game, they've really screwed up loot, man. Ever since they introduced loot stage, like it's just gotten worse and worse, and it couldn't have been any worse than in this patch, honestly. The loot stage system is the worst I've ever seen it in this patch, really. Let's see, 20% knockdown. Okay, that's good, that's good. Armor's good. I don't know if there's anything here. I don't think there is. Not see anything where I'm like, oh yeah, that has leather. Not really. I guess I have to be good at killing rabbits. Finding and killing rabbits. Now, that actually... Maybe I can get in here. There's the couches I seek. Alright, well, there's only one way to do this. That is sit there and beat on a metal frame that shouldn't be holding me back, but is. You know, ever since I played this game, crawlers have had the most screwed up hitbox and the most ridiculous amount of health. And I think I even got worse in this patch, honestly. They've never fixed the crawler hitbox, ever. That's one of those things, too. That's just been the game forever. I don't know if they just gave up or what's going on there. Okay, so... Please have him be the only guy. Nope, we got another one, of course. Why would it just be one, dude? Why would it just be one? Okay. Fuck you. Why has it gotta be a green coat? Come on, man. Dude, I don't want to fight a green... Yeah, screw you, dude. I'm gonna try to fucking make a run for it. Nope. They're gonna trap me in there. Dude, another one? Seriously? Come on, man. Will you just de-aggro? Fuck. Not having fun. Not having fun. Wow. Okay. Please stop chasing me. Please stop chasing me. Come the fuck on! Dude, suck my ass, man. Like, seriously? And why I gotta be thirsty right now? I'm done. Not even worth it. I'm just leaving. Yeah, dude. I'm done. I'm done. I'm not feeling this right now. Anyway, I just want to peek my head into the game. Doesn't look like a lot of you guys are watching there. But anyway, that was my bitch session about 7 Days to Die in its current state. Yeah, so yeah, I think neither me nor my friends realized at the time how much of a bust 1.0 was until we went all the way through it. So it's kind of sad. Well, we kept waiting for it to get better, and it just didn't, and then it kept just being the same. Like, it's like, well, I think what got us was that like we thought we had this mistaken idea that like when we got to the wasteland that the loot was going to get better, and it didn't get better. We thought that the questing rewards were going to get better and the traders were going to get better. Sorry about that noise. But they didn't get better. And it's just like, as time went on, it was just like, okay, I think we're done because it's not really going to get better. So, yeah, there's there's nothing for us to work towards anymore, other than surviving Horde Night. But really, yeah, not really much of an incentive. Um, so yeah, this game isn't what it used to be. I think it lost something fundamental to itself when they did those sweeping nerfs and those overbalances. Overbalancing is always bad in video games. When are devs going to learn this? Overbalancing is not okay. All it does is piss people off and create other problems. So if you're gonna balance a game, devs, this goes for any video game dev anywhere. If you're gonna overbalance a game, for fuck's sakes, make small adjustments. Do small nerfs, not big fucking nerfs. Not don't nerf things into irrelevancy. Come on now. We have like 20 years of gaming history to draw from, or more. You know. Anyway, that's all I got. Um, you know, it, and if the few of you that are watching this do get to see this, man, like, thanks for sticking around, and tell me what you think in the comments. Really, I like I said, am I full of shit here? Am I just delusional? Really, the stuff that I'm seeing, is this all in my head? I don't think it is, because my friends say the same thing about this game. But but then I watch YouTube videos and there are people loving this, and it's like, okay. And I actually didn't mind it either. And like I said, this is by no means the worst patch that has come out. But I'm telling you, if they don't do something fast, like this is the first time I've said, other than Alpha 18, like if they don't do something fast to improve this game, it's gonna die. I think it's gonna die, and that would be a real shame because this is a great game. It is. It really is. The world would be missing something if it wasn't around. That's for sure. But you know what? All good things must come to an end. And I tell you. So I'll leave it with this recommendations. Bring back Tier 6 loot. Period. And Tier 6 quest rewards. You know, when I lose Tier 5, I wanna see, sometimes, not every time, but most of the time, see a Tier 6 of something. Could be anything, even something I can't use. I just want to see it. I want to go, ooh, look, shiny. I can sell that, or I can do this, you know? So yeah, make Tier 6 lootable, make it craftable, and make it rewardable. Just don't bar it anything. Don't bar Tier 6 from being in anything or being craftable. Just let it be free. Let Tier 6 be free, guys. So that's my first recommendation. Second recommendation is bring back the old or bring back the mod junkie mechanics. You know, mod junkie meaning, bring back the ability to stuff mods in a weapon or a tool and make it worth more. You don't have to make it worth exorbitant amounts. You don't have to break it, but don't make it like disappear. Don't completely take it away. Just balance it, like, make it a little less powerful, but still make it somewhat powerful. Make it viable. That's the thing. Keep stuff viable. Don't get rid of it. Just keep it viable. You know, that's the whole purpose of balance. Is to keep your features while making them enjoyable, while not making them, so powerful that they ruin the game, right? So that's the whole point in balance. Anyway, so there's that. So yeah, bring make modding weapons, viable again as a means of getting money. Make traders relevant again. Have them sell decent weapons. You know, fix the loot stage system. That, honestly, that's long overdue. Yeah, current loot stage system broken, absolutely broken. It is. It used to just be annoying. Now it's making the game unplayable. It really is. Like you don't get anything for anything anymore. You get no rewards for your hard work other than what you craft. It is just a crafting game now. So like so yeah, make looting rewarding again. Make dealing with traders rewarding again. Make questing rewarding again. For fuck's sakes, shorten the travel time of tier 1 quests and keep it there. Don't go back. Don't revert it back to a kilometer. Right? And then, you know, so that's another thing. But yeah, these are the things that need to happen. That I think really need to happen to you know to bring back 7 Days to Die back to a playable state. That's like enjoyable state. It's playable the way it is right now, but like yeah, and you know, like I said, there's nothing wrong with learn by reading. I do like the system. There, it's not a bad system, but when that's the only thing you're looting for, it becomes a bad system. So give us other incentives to go out there and explore the world and loot the buildings and do the quests and just do all the stuff. You know, make it all relevant, make it all viable. That's what I want to see. You guys feel me? Anybody feel me? Well, I'll see what you guys say in the comments if you say anything. But then again, this has been a special Volairen show, just focused on why I really don't play 7 Days to Die that much anymore. Yeah, man, really sad. I was I was a little skeptical when 1.0 came out. I was like, they're kind of they weren't talking about that before. So, but yeah, like they definitely need to they need to make their features relevant again and just yeah, I can't say it enough. A total fumble, just a total fumble. They which is really sad because the stuff they added was actually pretty good. Like I said, adding being able to craft tier 6s is great. You know, collecting legendary parts. Good stuff. Liked it. The book system not bad. The learn by reading is not bad. It's not. But by itself, when that's the only thing you got to look forward to when you're looting, it sucks. So it's all the overbalancing. Stop overbalancing, fun pimps. Really, at its core, stop overbalancing. Let people play the way they want to play. Stop forcing people to specialize. Okay? If they want to specialize, they will. Allow people to play solo. Allow solo players their fun. Most of us are solo players. I hate to tell you, fun pimps. But anyway, that's my unsolicited advice. I'm not a developer, but I've been playing this game for a long time. I have a lot of playtime. I like 5,000 hours. I have more time in this game. The only other game I can even fathom that I have more time in than this game is maybe Minecraft. Maybe. Maybe. But, you know, anyway, yeah, so let's fix this shit. Seriously. Deserves it. There's some good stuff in 1.0. If you just remove the balance changes or just, dial them back, the overbalancing, and think you're fine. Anyway, and by the way, Alpha 21 was a great patch. By the way, loved it. I did. There were some things that I didn't like, but man, it was really fun. So, yeah, if we could just have the balance of 21, with the content of 1.0, I think will be golden. So, you know, anyway, we'll see what the Fun Pimps do in the next year or so, or however long it takes them to come up with another patch. That's kind of the other thing. Fun Pimps, you gotta have a faster upload time. You really do. You gotta have you gotta do things faster. I mean, especially like, if you need to come out with DLC or an expansion or something to justify working that hard or working that often, fine. I take my money, but like this whole no more of this like years between updates. Yeah, I don't understand the devs' obsession with nerfs either. I think they hang out in the forums too much. That's what I really think. I think they hang out in the community forums way too much. They listen to the whiners way too much, I think. They thank you for saying that, Fenrir. I really don't understand either. I never have. I don't understand why you would take your feature and then make it irrelevant. It's like you're cutting out a piece of your game. Like it's literally a piece of your game. You're making it irrelevant. Like why? Make it better. Make it funner. Give it some spectacle. Give people a reason to do it. Like, I want to quest. I want reasons to quest. I want reasons to go to the trader. I want reasons to build. I want reasons to craft. Give it all to us. This isn't an esport. It never will be. And we don't want an esport. So stop overbalancing. Stop with the nerfs. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Seriously. All right, I think I've said enough, guys. Well, it's funny now that I'm done, I'm about to leave. Now we got people rolling in. That's okay. I get it, dude. But yeah. By the way, been playing on my new monitor. It's great. I'm able to see chat. Not have to use my phone, so I won't be doing that no more. So isn't that great? But yeah, so yeah, really, that's my rambling rant about 7 Days to Die. Yeah, you overbalanced it into the ground, Fun Pimps. You overbalanced it until it wasn't fun. It just simply wasn't fun. You took everything that made the game fun and you made it not fun. How does that sell your game? How does that make can you enjoy a game then? But yeah, like and I'm gonna give you some examples of what not to do. Some games that are prime examples of what not to do. The biggest one, the biggest example I can think of what not to be like is Overwatch. That is the biggest case study as to why you don't overbalance. You don't nerf stuff into the ground. Anybody who's played Overwatch will agree with me 100%. I guarantee it. That game that game was amazing. And the nerfs were its downfall. The overbalancing was its absolute downfall. When you nerf, when you balance, I will say, never nerf too much. Nerf a small amount if you need to. Like, seriously, when are devs going to learn this? Do not make your features irrelevant. Either make them better, make more sense, or diminish them by a small amount. Make them slightly less powerful. You're not going to make everybody happy. But I tell you, when you nerf stuff into the ground, it makes a lot of people unhappy. Like, okay, but honestly, the biggest, stupidest nerf I've ever seen was what Blizzard did to Genji in Overwatch. That was really one of the dumbest things I've ever seen. I'll give you the example. So, well, yeah, let's talk about nerfs and why they're bad. So Genji back in the day was like a powerhouse. For those of you who played Overwatch, Genji was this ninja, right? He was a cyborg ninja. And the thing with Genji in Overwatch, there were so many different characters, and out of all of them, he was the most difficult to play. He required the most mechanical skill to be even remotely good with him and not just suck balls. Okay? Like, you either suck balls with him or you got good with him and you were just a god. Okay? There wasn't a lot of middle ground with Genji. But the thing of it is, the reason he was so overpowered was because he was in the hands of very good players. And you know what? If you're a very, very good player, you deserve to be powerful. You deserve to kick the game's ass. You deserve to break the game. And dominate people and dominate. And be overbalanced. You deserve to be overpowered if you are skilled enough. And you encourage other people who see you do that, like, you know what? I'm not gonna stop until I have gotten good with that, right? You encourage other people to improve their skills, which is great overall, right? I mean, that's just nature right there. So, but they nerfed him into the ground. They introduced a character that some people liked at first and was fun, but people quickly realized, even the ones that liked her, that, man, this is not what she's making the game into is not fun at all. And she turned into one of those characters that was just like, her name was Bridget or Brigida, whatever. I'm not pronouncing. But they introduced her, and basically she tipped the scale so she made the scale so unbalanced. She made the game so unbalanced with her introduction that basically if you didn't have a team with her on it, you weren't winning. Like, she was basically required to win in a lot of games, unless they were just brain dead. But in any competitive match, especially if she wasn't on, there was a time where if the enemy team had a Bridget and you didn't, you were done. It didn't matter what you had. So that was like an example of like overbalancing that just like really just stuck with me over the years. I'm sure some of you may have remembered. It's infamous. Like, it's infamous in all of gaming history, I think. It also introduced a meta that was extremely toxic, that wasn't very popular at all. Now, I wasn't really playing Overwatch at this time because I had other issues with Overwatch, but yeah, imagine you're a Genji player, right? You're a Genji player. You put thousands of hours into that character just to see that happen to him. You're never going to play that game again. I wouldn't. I certainly wouldn't. If I put thousands of hours into Genji, when they came out with Bridget, I would have just, yeah, I would have just rage quit and never came back. I would like play Valorant or something out of spite or whatever. Like, yeah, I definitely would not have ever come back to Overwatch if that had happened to me. If I had invested that much time into a character just to have it nerfed into the ground. Like, and then on top of that, I'm going to tell everybody of how pissed I am at Blizzard, right? Yeah, like, exactly. See, that's what I mean, Fenneru. It's ridiculous, right? So, or some other, some other game that was trying to compete with Overwatch at the time, right? At the time it was released, Valorant was one of those games that they were trying to be the Overwatch killer, right? So, but yeah, like and honestly, that almost happened to me with Alpha 18. The overbalancing they did in Alpha 18 nearly pretty much nerfed my playstyle at the time into oblivion. I had, in fact, I got resentments there, Fun Pimps, against you guys. Like you, I was I was coming up. I was getting viewers on my Twitch stream doing the highest difficulty settings, and then you came out with Alpha 18, the biggest fucking stinker ever, and the most like overbalanced piece of crap. And everything I did in my game that I used to do in my game to succeed no longer worked. I'm talking all of it. Like from, I mean, I swear to God, and I swear to God, it's like they took my gameplay footage, and they might have. I actually had one of the devs sit in on my stream. Maybe he was taking notes. I don't know, but like literally everything I did got nerfed. Bows got nerfed. They came out with the primitive bow, the worst fucking weapon in the game right now. Invented that, made it dog shit. Like, made that the only thing basically that you could get for a long time. Like, made wooden bows and compound bows extremely difficult to get. So you were stuck with that piece of shit for like 5 weeks at least. It seemed like 5 weeks. At least 2 or 3 weeks you were stuck with that piece of shit. So, and then they nerfed Bird's Nest, right? They nerfed Bird's Nest into the ground. It was so hard to find feathers so that you could make enough arrows to kill the zombies with your dog shit primitive bow. Okay? So there was that. And then, all kinds of other stuff. Man, I tell you. Well, they made the two things, and actually, I would love for them to change these, but they're probably never gonna. The rage mechanic. They introduced that fucking thing. I think that was the worst fucking changes to the zombie behavior that they ever made. The rage mechanic. I hate that mechanic so much. And then they changed the speed of Nightmare. They made Nightmare basically, if a zombie sees you and you can't kill him, you're dead. They especially if they're, that's the other thing. They made all the different zombies. They made all the zombies types go a different speed. So really, so on Nightmare, like half the zombies go even faster than that. And then if they get the rage mechanic, they go even faster than that. They actually go faster than you. It's ridiculous. So there's no way to outskill them. There's no way to outplay them. If you do not if you do not kill them before you run out of stam, you are dead. Unless you cheese them. And I don't do that. So, yeah, I don't think you should have to cheese zombies to kill them. You should just fix your game. That's what I think. But yeah. So, they made the hardest difficulty settings almost unplayable. Well, the other part about speeding up the zombies that's really makes the game not fun is that they're extremely janky and glitchy, and their behavior is really weird and messed up. It really messes up their behavior too, which is why I play it on run a lot. I can kill zombies on Nightmare now, no problem, really, especially with the right weapon. Now there's some weapons I absolutely cannot, like Fist. No, good luck, dude. I actually sat down a couple months ago. I tried for 5 hours to make Fist work on Insane Nightmare. Yeah, I have footage as to why it's impossible. Put it that way. But I get a knife and I'm fine, dude. Knives are fine. Knives are great. With Insane Nightmare. That there's a reason why you see all the big creators using that weapon. But anyway, but back to the nerfing, right? So Overwatch died because of nerfing. I think of any other games I can think of that there's so many that died because of nerfing. Like, where it's just like really, um, you know, World of Warcraft. I mean, any Blizzard game, really. Insert any Blizzard game, and it has seen its fair share of damage. It maybe didn't die because of the nerfs, but they definitely did not help, and they definitely cost subscriptions. I think this is the element that nobody really talks about when it comes to why Blizzard fell. I really like the overbalancing. Really, is kind of like a large behind the scenes element. So insert just about any Blizzard game, you know. I think now I don't remember a lot of bad balance changes in Battlefield 3 back when I played it, or I didn't really play any of the other Battlefields after that because of other issues that I'm not going to talk about in this video. I've already mentioned in my DLC video why AAA games are not doing great lately. We'll just put that. That's putting it lightly. Um, but yeah, just man, why take people's fun away? Seriously, people are having fun with your game. Why make them bored? Why piss on the parade? I mean, if people start out not liking the game, well, they don't have to play the game. But like, why piss off the people that are enjoying it? I just, yeah. Anyway, can you guys think of any examples? There are many out there. There are many out there. I'm just kind of drawing blanks. I've been talking forever, but yeah, this is definitely 7 Days to Die is definitely one of those games that's been very overbalanced in the years, and has nearly just been destroyed by overbalancing at times. Yeah. And there's so well. I heard. For example, I heard Helldivers. Right, I heard Helldivers. Not only the fiasco with having to sign up for a PlayStation Network account or whatever, but I heard from other people that they were doing this overbalancing into the ground kind of thing and just taking people's fun away. Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I think Helldivers is another example of a perfectly good game that through overbalance just died. Now it has negative reviews. I mean, it went from like being possibly game of the year to like, yeah, I mean, so let me see if there. Let me look at my game list here. Look at my game list here. Oh, you know what? Stellaris, absolutely. Stellaris has had its share of overbalancing. Um, so one of the changes they made, one of the overbalances they made that was really annoying, was the and this actually was a rare occurrence where it was actually a buff that made it pretty bad. Was Federations, or was the buffs they made to Federations recently? That honestly nearly broke the game for me. Um, I've kind of gotten used to it a little bit, but I still have to really play hard around it at times. I do. Um, but yeah, because you get these hegemony starts, right? And then they would snowball, and they would have like 100K fleet power before year 300. And and this was on the lower difficulties. I'm not even talking about Grand Admiral or anything like that. No, like I was just playing on Captain, and I had like a 30,000 fleet power, bigger than any of their other fleets, but they had this huge fuck off 100,000 fleet power Fleet, what do I do about that? There's nothing I can do about that, really. There's absolutely nothing. All I can do is stall it and do, you know, some of the bullshit hit and run tactics that the computer has done to me since I started playing. Um, really, there's not anything I can really do about that. So yeah, that's another example of like overreaction where like, okay, I don't know what you're trying to do there, but I don't know. People were asking for that or whatever. But then they they simultaneously made now their example of this being done right. Okay, example of nerfs being done right. What they did with vassals, what Stellaris did with vassals, that is actually one of the few examples I've seen where they nerfed something and they did it right. Okay, vassals, vassalization, diplomatic vassalization did need to get nerfed. It did. It was pissing a lot of people off. I knew this. I enjoyed it, but it really ticked a lot of people off. It did. And you know, Paradox heard them and was like, you know, uh, okay, so we'll work on this, and they made a small nerf at first, and that wasn't enough for people, so they made another nerf, and that's how you do it. You know, even if they cry about it, you just want to make the change. You want to make small changes. You know, and yeah, they should have applied different things for single multiplayer. I agree with that as well. Um, but yeah, like you know, so the changes they made to vassalization, that's about one of the closest examples I have to when nerfing actually done right. Okay, you see there is clearly a problem, right? When the only time you nerf, and honestly, devs take notice, the only time you nerf is when really you've done your research and you've come to find out that really everybody does not like your change. They don't like your feature. Everybody. I don't mean the 5% of whiners in the forums. I'm not talking about those people. I mean, you're having negative reviews, negative recent reviews. People telling you, saying that they don't like the feature. Okay, yeah, that's something you need to do something about that. I get that. That feature does need to get dialed back or balanced in some way. Okay? But yeah, but kudos to you, Paradox, for taking the vassalization mechanic and not just running it into the ground. An example of what you know of overbalancing being done wrong is if Paradox were to just basically make vassalization not worth it at all or make it completely impossible to do. That would have been going in the opposite direction. You know, that would have been nerfing it into the ground, and players like me would have been pissed off. You know, you would have pissed off a lot of other players that like the vassalization mechanics. So good job, Paradox, in that. I want to give Paradox. I want to clap for Paradox. I overall thumbs up review on their vassalization balancing, but thumbs down for the Federation balancing. No, that was not necessary. I just remember Back for Blood, the Left 4 Dead clone over nerf is what killed it. Yeah, really. I know I have witnessed so many games die because of a nerf. Because of a nerf. They were doing fine and then they nerfed something and just everybody was unhappy. You got to be careful with your nerfs. You really got to treat them delicate. You got to nerf delicately. That's really the way to say it. The only way to say it is like nerf delicately. Be delicate with your nerfs. Absolutely. Be delicate. You know, do not swing the nerf sledgehammer around. Do not do that. Okay? It's not whack-a-mole, all right? If yeah. So yeah, so many games bit the dust. just because devs wouldn't listen. And they just kept doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I'll give you an example of a few games that don't nerf anything, or not that I can think of at the top of my head, and they're absolutely awesome. Factorio. I can't really even think of anything at the top of my head that they've ever nerfed, really, with their game. Like, things at most, it was a lateral shift, or they just added a different piece of content. You know? They added a different piece of content. Like, for example, um, even though I hate this feature that they added, but some people like it, cliffs. They added cliffs. You know, it added more challenge to the game. It did. You know, it added some possible challenge. And here's the other thing. They made it so you could turn it off. That's the other thing, too, of nerfs being done right. Make it toggleable. Make it a toggle. That's it. You can always make it a toggle. You can always leave it as an option in the settings. You know, so people who want it, they can turn it on. They don't want it, they turn it off. Me, I turn cliffs off. Cliffs, all they did was piss me off. Like, they were just another headache in the factorial equation. So, yeah, I mean, really. But I really can't think of any time factorial Wooby software has ever really nerfed anything. You know? Planetcraft is another one. I don't really remember them ever overbalancing anything or nerfing anything into the ground. You know? But yeah, so anyway, I do need to get going, guys, but yeah, I think this is a long conversation coming. Um it needed to happen. We need to talk about this shit. So I think I might do another Volairen show. Um, Tomorrow we'll see. I'm actually decided today that I'm gonna be, following a. I'm actually gonna be on somewhat of a schedule compared to where I have been for the past month. Because lately, you know, video editing has kind of gotten away from me. I need to I need to spend some more time with it, dedicate some time every day to it. So, yeah, anyway, you guys have a good morning if you're in America, good evening if you're in Southeast Asia. I will see you next time. And before I go, again, do you think I'm wrong? Do you think I'm right? You know, do you think I am a total lunatic? You know, do you think I'm just whining and complaining here? Or do you see what I see? Do you feel what I feel here about the new 7 Days to Die 1.0? Am I totally off base here, or is there some merit to what I'm talking about? Leave a comment, and I'll see you next time.